Hey y'all, it's me again. I just really quickly wanted to re-scratch the surface of what's going on in Ferguson because it kind of came to me almost like in this lightning flash of something that I think that I've internally understood but had not yet really vocalized. When I think about Ferguson, the reason why I honestly feel as though it likely will not make too much of a difference how long people stand out in the streets, how loudly they holler, how angry they are, it's because we don't live in the type of society, unfortunately, where people really have much respect for us as citizens. We have to understand that we're called on as consumers. Think back to about 2001 after the Twin Towers were attacked. What George Bush said to us, or former President Bush said to us at that point was get back on the airplanes, go back into the stores, don't stop shopping. At that point, without saying it, what they were really doing was telling us quite blatantly that we weren't anymore being called on as citizens. We were being called on as consumers because they understood that our true power was our purchasing power. So when we look at the streets of Ferguson and we see, religious leaders, intellectuals like Cornel West being arrested, kids by the dozen, people by the dozen, the marching and the chanting, it's all very beautiful, all of very reminiscent of great traditions we have in Black culture. Again, go back to, Montgomery and Selma and March on Washington and all of these things. Yet at the same time, those isolated movements or those isolated actions were not truly what bring about the real change. The real change is in the power of the pocketbook. And so when we look here, I'm not saying that we have to go out and buy a super PAC. What I'm not saying is that, we have to have millions of dollars in our bank account in order to get what we want. But it's simple. Everyone out there who's standing, they have to eat, they have to drink, they're buying clothing, you know what I mean? And with that, they have a purchasing power. And so, if you really want to scare a government, or if you really want to catalyze legitimate change, it starts with the power of the almighty dollar, unfortunately. And it isn't something that I've created, it's something that has been impressed on us. And so, when we look at Ferguson, I hate it to an extent just because it's like we want change and we want it now, and we want to not be in a society where we're preyed on by our skin color or our socioeconomic condition, but we are respected as a group of people. Yet at the same time, that's just simply not the reality. But in order to bring that type of reality about, we have to use real measure. Because really, the longer that we holler, the longer that we scream, the more violent that we become due to reasons of outrage and existential malaise, the more they're going to militarize the government, excuse me, the more they're going to militarize the police departments, the more they're going to bring literally military grade weapons and tanks and machine guns in order to control us. It's about controlling a population, and if they can't do that with regular police forces, then they're going to go higher and higher. They're going to come off stronger and stronger. And if we do not want that as our reality, then we must shift some very real things. And one of the first things that we have to take into consideration is buying power. Think too back to Rosa Parks. It wasn't that they just got off the bus and after she was arrested and they protested. No, they stopped getting on the buses altogether. That's what shifted everything. It's your purchasing power. We've been consumers for a long time, and our consumership is much more potent than our citizenship. You think back to Obama in 2008. Not only did he win the presidency, but he also won the best ad campaign of the year, which means that they were selling us something. They were selling us a presidency. And so, with that, we have the power to do it. We've done it before. We have elected how we shall move within this type of oligarchic and crypto fascistic and uh, crony capitalistic system. We can navigate it. Those things are possible, but we have to come together in a calm, collected, and organized manner and recognize that it's not just about the marches. It's not just about the power in numbers of being seen or our presence. Sometimes it's really just about, again, the almighty dollar. Think about it. I send you love. I give you peace.